Let's automate your marketing so you can spend less time chasing traffic and spend more time building a business that will ultimately provide you and your family with the freedom, security, and financial independence that you deserve. Mick Meaney here. Welcome to ProfitCopilot.com. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to automate traffic generation from social media. Now, today's video was inspired by a comment left by one of my subscribers last week. Now, they asked for some free social media sharing plugins for WordPress. Now, while that is a great suggestion, and I will recommend some of those plugins later on, this really got me thinking about how I can deliver the most value to you. How can we take this idea further? And then how much traffic could you get? So what happens if we dial things up a notch? I mean, what happens if we dial it up to 11, right? Then how much traffic can you get on autopilot? So I'm going to give you a solid strategy, and then I'm going to show you how to deploy it step by step. And then finally, I'm going to share some additional tools that you might find useful. And listen, if you are really serious about traffic generation, then I think you will love the free training that I have for you at the end of this video. Okay, so social media traffic automation. Now, I've said it before, on a personal level, I'm really not a fan of social media, but as far as I'm concerned, there's only really one good thing we can get from social media, and that's traffic. And if we can automate that process so we spend less time on social media, then, I'm really all for it. And I understand that, I use social media in my business. I've grown an audience to 20,000 subscribers. So I do have some experience with social media, but the automation thing only works if you have the right strategy. And thankfully, that strategy is pretty simple. And actually, most of the hard work has already been done for you. I'm going to show you how to do it. Then I'm going to show you the tool that I use. I'm going to give you a couple of alternatives as well. If you don't want to spend money, that's fine. Let's go take a look at the strategy. So, social media traffic automation. So it starts with topic sentiment. Now, what I mean by topic sentiment, this is really important. So first of all, we have to decide what topic we're going to post about. This is going to be a subtopic of your industry. So we're going for something very specific here. I'll walk you through how to do it. It's easy. Then we need to know, how does the market feel about that topic or that piece of content before we share it? This is really important. Now, thankfully, we've got tools that will tell us how the market feels. So we don't have to guess. We don't have to go out and do our own research. The tool will just tell us how the market feels. So we break it down into positive, neutral, or negative. Obviously, the temptation is really going to be to post things that have a positive sentiment. But that's not necessarily always right, because sometimes it's good to post topics that will kind of provoke a stronger reaction. And that is really a good way to build alliances and trust within your market. If you kind of go against the grain a little bit, polarize the audience just a little bit, and provoke a stronger reaction, that can really do wonders. However, most of the time we will just want to share useful content that will make people smile and yep, and want to share that. Then we leverage credibility. So we kind of borrow credibility from other people in your space. And what I mean by that is, we look at who is creating similar content to the type of content that we want to publish. This depends on who you want to target, but then we need to find out where they are sharing it, where these influencers are sharing it. So we leverage influencers, and in doing so, because we're taking content from people who have a perception of being an authority figure and trusted and all that good stuff, when we share their content and use their name in an ethical way, then some of that credibility kind of rubs off on us. So it makes us look good as well. And then for consistent growth, we need the right schedule. I'll show you how to do that. The thing with the schedule is it doesn't really matter too much as long as you are consistent. I'll talk more about that in a second. And then we need the right hashtags, because without the right hashtags, the content that we share just isn't going to get the reach that it deserves. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why should I go ahead and share other people's content and drive traffic to their websites when I want to get traffic to mine? Well, if you only share your own content, you will need to produce an enormous amount of it to generate growth. So I recommend you share other people's content, borrow some of that credibility, and then you have an endless supply of content to share on social media. And then you weave in links and content to your own site, to your own offers, your landing pages, whatever it is you want to promote. So we have this healthy mix. It's really simple. I'll walk you through it step by step. But at its core, this is all about becoming part of a community, listening to that community, and then understanding their needs and their pain points to deliver the value that they need. So that's why understanding market sentiment is really important. And then we can, of course, borrow credibility from influencers by sharing the type of content that we know will resonate. So this is the tool that I'm going to use today, but I will provide some alternatives if you don't want to use this one. That's fine. I mean, when it comes to social media automation, it's really dominated by two services, Hootsuite and Buffer, and they are both great options, but I have discovered something that's even better, and it pretty much does everything for you. And I think I might even have an affiliate link, and if I do, I'll put it in the description for you. So this is going to help you to grow an audience and send traffic on autopilot. So it's called Content Studio. I have spoken about it before, but I've never taken a really deep dive into it. So the first thing you will probably notice is this banner at the top telling me that I need to reconnect this to Instagram. So I've let that expire, but I can sort that out later on. What I really want you to focus on here is the navigation. So we've got Dashboard, Publish, Analyze, Inbox, and Discover. I want you to head over to Discover, go to Content Feed. Now this is where you're going to see the best performing content in your niche. So for me, I've got it set for marketing. So immediately we know what content other people are sharing that works. This is really good for curating content. So instead of going out and manually finding the right content to post, this will tell you exactly what you need to post. And perhaps it's no surprise that we can see the negative sentiment is provoking a stronger reaction than the positive. Now, when you're choosing articles to share, I would recommend that you either go with negative or positive sentiment. I think neutral is probably the worst one to go with, but that isn't a strict rule. That's something for really you to decide for your particular audience. In addition to seeing which content works well, we can also take a deeper dive into the insights. Now, data is our friend. It's going to give us the last 3 months worth of data, and we can see the number of articles published over time and the average shares. It can also give us the top domains and the top authors as well. So if we're particularly interested in finding influencers, this could be a good way to do it. However, if we go back to the Discover tab, click on Influencers, there we can find the top influencers in any industry. So we can choose from Twitter or Instagram. We'll put in a search term here or a hashtag, a username, or anything of interest, and it's going to bring back relevant influencers to that industry. So that's it for discovery. Let's go back to the content feed and actually start populating our schedule with content that we know is going to perform well. So let's start populating our schedule. Let's say I want to share this piece of content because I know it's going to provoke a strong reaction. If I click on this button, social media share, it's going to start fetching the data and it's going to create the post for me. And there it's pulled in all the data for me. It's even suggested some hashtags for me. And I can now choose how I want to post this content. So the way I have it set up is, let me show you. I have different categories set up so I know what type of content I'm sharing on which day. So I can go to other sources because this isn't content I've created, so I can choose other source, and now it changes the behavior of the post just a little bit. So it'll now post this piece of content to my Facebook page and my Twitter account, and I can also customize it for each channel if I want to. Another really important thing here is when you've added your hashtags, so I could add that one there, I could add Google as well. It automatically adds those hashtags that it knows will perform well for this post. But something really important that I want to show you is this add first comment. So if you click that, we can now add our own commentary or thoughts or opinions on this piece of content. Or we could provide additional resources or a relevant product or something that will benefit your audience. So immediately, as soon as this piece of content is posted, it will automatically publish a first comment underneath. Then we can choose when to publish this. I'm going to leave it as add to content category. So that will go out on a specific schedule that I've already set up. So I'm going to click add to category, and there we go. It's now added to the schedule. Let me show you how to set up a planner. So if we go to planner, you're going to see that this is very empty. So it's sparse at the moment. There you'll see that I have intentionally left it blank just so we don't have any confusion here. So you can see on Tuesday, the 22nd of March, it will publish the piece of content that we've just selected. So I can go through this calendar and manually add posts if I want to. I can change the view by going to filter if I need to. And I would use this as an opportunity to add more promotional content or content from my own website. The best way to use this is probably to use the Discover tool, the content feed option, to find content that you know is going to work, then populate your calendar with that content. Then I would go back to your calendar view and weave in more promotional posts, affiliate links, sales pages, products, that kind of thing, and traffic to your own websites and landing pages too. Now, I would recommend that you batch process this. So instead of going in every day, setting up your schedule, just do it once a month and then plan the month ahead. And that way you will grow your audience and get traffic on autopilot. But let me give you some extra resources that I think will really help, because this is not your only option. It's the one that I use, so I stand behind it 100%, but it might not be the right option for you. So let me give you some other options. We've got Crowdfire. Now, if I wasn't with Content Studio, this is the one I would go with. It's got many of the same features, but it's not quite as sophisticated. If you're adamant that you don't want to spend any money, fair enough. We've got Blog to Social. This is a free social media auto poster and scheduler for WordPress. This is probably one of the best plugins around. It's not as robust as Content Studio, but listen, it's free, so we can't really complain. If you need help choosing the right hashtags for social media, we've got hashtagify.me. We've also got righttag.com. I'm going to put a link to all of these in the description. And if you're just getting started with social media and you need some of those social media share buttons on your website, well, we've got a few free plugins for those as well. Social media share buttons and social sharing icons. That's a bit of a mouthful, but it's a good free plugin that you can use for WordPress. We've also got Mass Share. Big fan of this. I used this for a long time until I got a theme that had those buttons already installed and ready to go. If your theme doesn't have those, then these options might be good for you. We've also got Simple Social Buttons, and again, that's another free WordPress plugin. But listen, the really important thing with all of this stuff is that you need to be consistent, because when you are consistent, you can achieve amazing results. Take a look at what Matt has achieved. He's my student, and he has made $2 million using my traffic methods. And if you want to know the secret and you are serious about growing a popular and profitable internet business, then of course you need more traffic, because traffic equals money. So I will give you the secret traffic methods I never share on YouTube or anywhere else for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic and get that free training. Okay, I hope you found today's tutorial useful. If you have, give it a thumbs up below. Subscribe to the channel too, so you never miss out on any of my videos. Thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you again very soon. Take care.